there was an agenda to create absolute turmoil and mayhem in the Middle East, leading to a conflict to draw in China and Russia. Yeah, exactly the form it would take in terms of which country first. We're now seeing the thing unfold, but the whole thing about the turmoil and upheaval in the Middle East, yes, and others have too. It's been a long-term plan leading to what they want to have is a third world war. And I'll tell you, okay, if I could just say two things, because people are new to this, there's 2 points I want to make. First of all, they talk about America are sending the troops in, Britain are sending the troops in. Well, only in theory. The way it works is this. They have created this cabal over a long, long period of time, because this didn't start yesterday. It didn't even start in the last century. It started long, long ago. They have created a structure which is like a transnational corporation. If you think of something like McDonald's, a simple one, you've got the headquarters somewhere, and then in each country you've got the subsidiaries. Now, if you go into, and pass them, you pass a McDonald's in Eastern Europe or South Africa or anywhere, it's like passing one in LA, really. It's the same thing. It's the same corporate signature, the same way of doing things. And that's the way that this cabal, a global network, operates. But instead of like subsidiary companies, they are subsidiary networks of secret societies and families that operate in each country. And the job of these subsidiary networks, say in America, the Rockefellers heavily involved in this one, is to manipulate and direct that country's government, banking, business, media, etc., in line with the central agenda that's being dictated to all these subsidiary networks. And that is in Europe, in old Europe. It's in places like Rome and London, Paris, that whole old Europe arena.
That's where the holding company is.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not talking about the governments either. I mean, the governments of Britain, France.
Right, I understand.
It's the center of this global secret society bloodline web. So when we talk about America and people, and even this is going on being said very loudly in Britain now, your country is in a desperate financial state. There's people, your people you represent, or supposed to, living in tent cities, out of work, wondering where the next meal's coming from, and you are spending $600,000 on every cruise missile that they are launching. Goodness knows what even Libya's cost so far. What's going on? I don't understand it. You're the government of America. No, they're not. They're the government subsidiary of the global cartel. Therefore, the cartel goes into Libya under the name of American forces. It goes into Iraq under the name of British forces. They couldn't give a damn about the people. That is why there's never, ever enough money to give people a decent life, dignity, even the basics of shelter and warmth. But there's always enough money no object, to kill people and pepper bomb cities. It's because it's about serving the cabal. Now, if we take it to the next level, where they want to go, they want to create a centralized Orwellian global state based on a world government that would dictate to every country in the world. They want a world army that would impose the will of the world government. And I was writing in books 15 years ago that one of the ways they were going to evolve to the world army was to have NATO and NATO countries operating increasingly outside the North Atlantic arena. And that's what they're doing.
And that's what's happening.
They're in Afghanistan. They're talking about now taking NATO into Libya, etc. This is exactly what is unfolding. They want a world central bank that would dictate all finance to every country. And that is one of the major reasons. There are others too.
And they want a different currency, David.
Yeah, well, while they're crashing the world economy, when they had the crash in 2008, people were coming forward and saying, to sort this out, we need a world central bank. Now, they plan to create another financial crash that would make the 2008 one seem mild, and then they'll really push this global central bank, and as you say, a world currency, which in the end would not be physical money. It would merely be electronic. And there's a massive reason for that in relation to freedom. If you go into a shop now and you hand over electronic money, a credit card, and they say, sorry, won't accept your card, this machine won't accept your card, then at least you can still pay cash.
Yes, you've got that option.
Once cash is out of circulation, and they want a global cashless society, then whoever programs the computer system dictates if you purchase or not outside of barter. That's the idea. And the other thing they want is a microchip population with children microchipped at birth as a matter of course, because through the chip, they can manipulate humans physically, mentally, and emotionally. I begin chapter and verse on this back in 1997 about this by a CIA scientist who was desperate to get this information out.
Sounds like the sign of the beast from the Bible, doesn't it?
Well, some people interpret it like that, but that's what they're looking at.
Now the time has come, I believe, to topple all of the governments of the Near East and the Middle East and bring them all under the control of the radical Muslim movement in preparation for the next great war. But, Bob, you go right ahead.
Well, that reflects my thinking as well. You might call it a step along the way to an Iranian war, which will bring Russia and China in, and the conflagration will cause a new selective service draft in the United States, which will get the potential demonstrators and perhaps revolutionaries off the streets and into the trenches in the desert so that they can get killed. As we all know, the people behind government are very adamant about getting rid of 60 to 80% of the world population, and this is part of the way to do it. At the same time, try to emasculate any revolution in the United States.
The real threat's going to come like a thief in the night. Now, the elites, and it's even admitted in CNN, they're building, even if they stay in cities, big underground bunkers, arming themselves. Briefly, all these former government people, what are they doing? I know a lot of them are going to Utah, Wyoming, Montana.
And Colorado. A lot of them have built resorts or cabins, very luxurious cabins in the ski resorts of Colorado. And the reason they do that is because Denver, this is not a recommended city, Denver's the western center of the New World Order globalists. They have bunkers there. They have a power center.
It's the admitted alternate government.
That's correct. Denver is a very bad place, and that's why a lot of these ex-CIA, ex-NSA, and Army and government who know that a nuclear war is coming have built big underground bunkers. They're not telling the American people. They don't want us prepared, but they themselves are preparing. And I have run into numerous contractors who I've worked with in Colorado who've told me, you can drive down the street in Aspen and other areas and say, there's a bunker in that house, there's a bunker there, he's former NSA, he's CIA. I mean, these people know something, and it's just criminal that they don't tell the American people.
The system thinks you're stupid. They think you're morons.